had the most beautiful experience yesterday, and I really wanted to share it. It was the first time I've ever had a facial in my life where the facial was nothing to do with the products that were being used and everything to do with the skill, the energetics and the handwork of the facialist. This amazing woman Julie, who works at this biohealth dental clinic here, and actually I met Dr. Rose, who founded the Dr. Rose Biohealth Dental Clinics at the Health Optimization Summit in London. And what was so amazing was how he really leads into functional dentistry, which means dentistry that doesn't fill your mouth with mercury fillings and use toxic chemicals inside of the oral microbiome. I don't think that enough people realize the connection between the gut microbiome and the oral microbiome. Like, the health of your mouth is really, really important. Brushing your teeth with fluoride-based toothpastes, in my opinion, is a mistake. And mouthwashes are a massive issue. Like, people don't realize that washing your mouth out with these Listerines and stuff, is literally killing your oral microbiome. It's like sterilizing your gut with alcohol every single morning when you're trying to nourish it with probiotics and seed it with different multifloras and have a rich and diverse microbiome. The oral microbiome is the same. A healthy oral microbiome does not mean you need to mouthwash in order to have a fresh breath. It just means that everything is well, your teeth are strong and straight and clean. And actually, if you're eating foods that are not very inflammatory and you are not living off of sugar as fuel, then you very likely will not have issues with bad breath and never need mouthwash. Mouthwash is a cover-up yet again for a poor oral microbiome. And if you are having issues around your oral microbiome, bad breath, needing to use mouthwash all the time, then you need to look at your gut health. It's quite a simple kind of circle. But Julie works at these clinics, so she's very much aligned with the whole idea behind functional beauty, functional dentistry, functional medicine, and it all really links to biohacking your own health. And the facial that I experienced with her, I don't know what else to do except speak about it. It basically changed the shape of my face in 2 hours. So I was there for 2 hours. She does a very in-depth and individualized facial, which means that nothing about what she does is like a routine. She looks at your own skin and understands where you need work, where you need pumping and toning, and basically it's like a workout class. It was like a 2-hour workout class for my face. Every single stroke and touch and pull and push was thought about. Every single technique she used. She's really passionate about gua sha, and the way she did the gua sha on the face is all about sculpting and toning. I literally spent 10 minutes after that facial looking in the mirror because the entire shape of my face had changed. And Julie actually said that a lot of the things that I was doing was really good. Like, what was I doing? And I had to laugh and say, I literally drink filtered water as an absolute rule, and I smother my face in beef fat, and I take collagen or gelatin every day. And I thought she was going to shout at me and laugh. She was like, that's brilliant. I've got to check out this beef fat. So heads up to Fierce Nature. Like, I literally felt really proud. Like she said, your skin is plump and very, very toned. For your age, and all of these things are things that we all want to work towards. I don't believe in injectables. I feel like a lot of people do, and I don't judge that at all. In fact, if you want to go down the injectable route, it's faster and easier, but what you have to know, and she reconfirmed this, is that you commit to Botox and other injectables every 3 months of your life if you want to keep it up, otherwise it's pretty pointless. And also, when you get to a place whereby your muscles have been paralyzed for so long that you can't get the movement back in them, then you need to start using fillers to replump the face after the muscles have died. And this is the problem. She explained to me, I quite liked her example, was if you have a very strong functioning arm that you put in a cast and you keep breaking it every 3 months and keeping it back in the cast, the arm will eventually end up like a noodle. It will have no muscle tone and no strength. And that's when you then need to really find another way to help it. So by paralyzing the muscles in your face, you also completely and utterly negate the ability to tone and pump and flex and strengthen those muscles, which is how you should get rid of wrinkles. But a faster and easier route would be to paralyze the muscles and then see a quicker effect. So if you're not committed to injectables for the rest of your life, and you can understand that by not using the muscles in your face for 10, 15, 20 years, that you will end up eventually needing to fill your face, then that's a route you take, and that's fine. The other thing we did discuss that hit home with me, and which is why I don't use injectables, is that you are injecting a neurotoxin into your body, whichever way you look at it. And yes, it does wear off, and yes, the body does detox naturally, and it might not be something that bothers you. However, you have to understand that if you are fighting hard to regulate your hormones, if you have issues with your thyroid, if you're trying to lose weight, and you're finding that you have poor premenstrual symptoms, you have an issue where your skin won't tan, or your hair is thinning, all of these things are a very interconnected balance of our hormones and the way that we function. So by adding a neurotoxin into the mix, into your system, any of that work that you're doing will undo, just by definition. And so it really is something to think about. If you are trying to conceive consciously, or you're in between children, or like a neurotoxin affects hormonal balance at the very least of all the things that it will do. So for me, this facial workout was unbelievable. And I'll tag a chat I had last year this time with the girls of Luminous Facial Yoga, who are doing the same kind of thing, like teaching us to tone our own facial muscles and not paralyze them in order to have a more plump, dewy, glowing and toned complexion. And the other interesting thing we chatted about was like how so many women that rely on injectables really work out their body, and they really are like dedicated to exercise. And it's complete juxtaposition, because your face is a muscle and needs to be toned just as much as your butt needs to be sculpted, or your abs, or whatever you're working on. So it just gave me so much to think about, and I loved having the chat. There was no like, you need to buy this product now, and you need this and you need that. In fact, I just walked out of there feeling like $1 million and noticing a real change in the tone of my face. And she said to me, there's a woman who really was pressed to like do something with her face and was on the brink of working with this doctor that everyone works with for injectables. And she said, look, show me how we can work together instead of me pumping Botox into my face, what I can do different. And so she saw Julie once a week for 8 weeks before she went on to a maintenance program. And I would imagine the costs were the exact same. And she said it was at like week 7, week 8 of working out her face with Julie. Which, by the way, Julie does all the work. Julie is so highly trained. She opens up all the lymph nodes in your neck, and the level of detox and calming of the anxiety and opening of pathways. In fact, I used yesterday as a manifestation session for myself, because everything was flowing and the lymph was moving. You need to drink a lot of water afterwards, but she does all the work. So this woman said after 6-7 sessions, people started to ask, whoa, what's the name of your doctor? She was like, no, I'm just working out my face. I'm using the muscles in my face to get stronger, which is creating the look that everyone is noticing. So yeah, wow. No one said that doing things the natural way, which I advocate for in a lot of areas of life, is easy. It's not like a walk in the park. You got to put in a little bit more effort. But when you are glowing and your face is toned and your cheeks are plump and your forehead is dewy and full of collagen, and you feel amazing and you're aligned and you're manifesting fast, your periods are perfect, you're working in flow with your cycles, your hormones are straight, your thyroid functions, you lose weight as and when you need to, your body maintains a beautiful shape. Like, there is no amount of money on earth that could be worth that feeling. And knowing you've done it all naturally and in line with your body, if that's what you're called to do, it's quite sensational. So I'll tag Julie below, as soon as we get back to Dubai, I'm going to see her for 5 weeks. She's an investment, and in terms of the way that I teach money codes and all that, I literally, when I went to pay, almost wanted to bow. I was like, with honor and gratitude, like, I give you this money with love, because that what you did for me in those 2 hours was transformational. And not only did I look in the mirror and be like, oh my word, but the way that I felt, the way she opened up the lymph nodes in my neck, the care, the attention, the energy, the way that she works with her gua sha tools, everything was aligned for me. And that is what you call a physical exchange of money. That is what money is made for. It is made for an exchange that makes you feel alive and better and glorious and radiant. And the more that you interact and have those exchanges in life, the more the money flows in so that it can flow back out again. So I just had to share that. I'm so glad that you found my channel. I really hope that you'd be interested in joining my year-long mastermind. It is a beautiful container where we network at the highest level. You will meet like-minded entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs, people wanting to do business differently, people wanting a spirit-based approach, and to bring in all the beautiful things that I teach in my video here. A continuous channel of learning for a year long with people that will become mentors and friends and business partners for life. So come and join us. The link's in the description below.